These are the new makeup releases for March. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I'm going to be chatting with you about the new makeup releases for March. There's 36, 37 things here, so let's just roll because we've got a lot to chat about. And for some reason, a lot of the things that I want to chat to you about have been announced just in the past couple of days, or they just didn't really show up on my Instagram feed at all. So I don't know what happened, but when I checked this morning, all of a sudden it was like twice as much as what I had saved throughout the month. I was like, what happens? I think it's because we're sort of like gearing up for summer again. So we've had Valentine's Day, so those things have of course been announced, and then I think brands just kind of slow down a little bit around that date. And then all of the new announcements, like everything I saved was announced in the past like 3 to 4 days. I don't know what's going on there. And my Instagram algorithm is just a bit strange. Like some things just really didn't pop up, even though I had already seen it over on TikTok. It just didn't show up here. I don't know what's going on. And I use Instagram and I just like save the posts throughout the month when I'm scrolling to see. But I think because I'm on TikTok more, I'm not on Instagram as often anymore. So I think that's why, like I'm not feeding the algorithm enough, I think. I don't know. But I started to actively look for a couple of things and I was able to find more. There is a new, updated, it's again a reformulation, I think. The Dior Forever Fluid Skinwear, it does have SPF in. It's there's a glow foundation and a matte foundation. So glowy and matte at the same time, or is it supposed to be like a matte formula that still has glow? I think it's the latter. It's not really clear here in the description, but it's got hyaluronic acid, niacinamides, peptides. It does seem to have like a pretty good shade range here. So this looks okay. Like I've tried other Dior foundations like throughout the years, and Dior is always a solid pick for me. I just have one Dior foundation that I love that I haven't used up yet. So I'm not in a market for buying a new Dior foundation at all. But I definitely think that this can be nice. Like this is a good, like Dior is just a solid pick. I feel like if you buy a Dior foundation and it is your shade and it's a formula you like, you're going to be able to use up the bottle, I feel. They're expensive, of course, and I do feel that this is like the classic 30 ml size, so it may be a little bit expensive, but overall, I think Dior does a pretty good job with shade ranges and stuff as well. Like, it can always be better, but for the most part, I feel like Dior has really improved in that sense over the years. This is the Floresta Inverno palette by Ladybug Glow. I found this through a different account from a different brand. I don't know what's going on there. I think they are stocking that brand then, so it's easier for people to buy. I'm not entirely sure. And this looks pretty. It's like these like periwinkles, like purpley things, very sort of spring-like already. And I think that this is going to be one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that looks beautiful. It has a couple of special things in. Do I need this? No, unless this this brand would have to come to MONOLITH for me to be able to really be interested in them. It says here that they're available through Etsy and Gourmand Girl, so that's where you can buy the brand. Then this is a really beautiful palette. It's the Deadly Roses Volume 2 from Bella Beauté Bar. I think this was like supposed to be like their Valentine's Day release. I like the pinky purples with like the yellowy browns. It's such a good color story. This is not one where I'm like, do I need this like right now? It's got like some like burgundy rosy things in that I find really pretty, and then the yellows. I'm not sure how much I would use this because I also have their Smoky Glam. And then I'm like, if I were to use my Smoky Glam palette and I just use it with a yellow, I might get the same thing, you know? So I'm not entirely sure whether this is going to add anything new and exciting to my personal makeup collection. But if you've not tried Bella Beauté Bar yet, I mean, they are one of my favorites for a reason. I've got plenty of their eyeshadow palettes, but I do pick and choose what I want to try from the brand and what I'm not trying from the brand. But this looks gorgeous. I believe this is launching today on MONOLITH. In case you didn't know, today at 10:30, MONOLITH is doing their newest drop. There are 30 new products. They also are including some sort of sale event where you can get products off on things I think they are just trying to get rid of. And it also includes some Bella Beauty bars. Some of their older things are going to be discounted, I believe. So at least from what I could tell on Instagram. I haven't had time yet to really look at what's on Monolith on the website yet. So yeah, this is the Bella Beauty Bar palette. That's like their latest launch, and it's one that I will be skipping, but I think this is going to be right for some people. This is another thing that like sort of popped up on my Instagram, and I'm not sure whether the brand is Delancey Beauty or if it's a Flano Lilac Charm. I don't know what the brand name exactly is because I don't have a picture of like the closed thing. I think it's Aflano is the name of the brand, and then the palette is called Lilac Charm. This is really beautiful, but it's very similar to that other palette I just talked about, the Ladybug Glow palette. It looks pretty similar. Of course, it's not exactly the same. This is a little bit less periwinkle leaning. It's got more purples in, I feel. And then it has more like cooler tone, like mattes in there. And some of the shimmers are a little less interesting than the Ladybug Glow. But this is also giving Succulent Dew by Singe Beauty that I talked about last month. And so I really feel like this is like the current vibe. Like a lot of brands, like I don't know why this happens so often, but then many different brands do things that all look the same. Like we had it with the red shadows at the end of like November, December. Every single brand started to put reds in their palettes, and now we're getting these like purples with like teals and like these spring floral kind of things. So that's currently the vibe, it seems. Again, not something I will be picking up, but it does look really pretty. Maybelline has the Lifter Gel Oil in Gel Twist Pen for lips. So this is like a lip oil kind of thing that you need to twist up, I think. Maybelline has been coming out with loads of different things that I feel a lot of people are excited for. I have finally found one of those cloud pot things that they've come out with. I was in store to pick up something else, and I saw a display with new Maybelline, and I finally found some. So I did pick up a couple of Maybelline bits because everything was buy one, get one free. And I was like, on all Maybelline, I was like, I'm going to try some new Maybelline products. So you're going to see that in my haul that's going to go live on Saturday. That's when I will do my makeup haul for February. And I mainly bought some drugstore makeup. So that makes me super happy that I'm finally getting to try some of the newer Maybelline things. And I really feel we didn't have to wait that long. Like very often with Maybelline, I find we have to wait a year, but this came out in like 3 to 4 months, and I'm like, that's good. So maybe this product comes in the next 3 to 4 months. I'm certainly hoping that, but I do feel that what we get, what is new for Maybelline is sort of like very wishy-washy. So I'm not even sure if this is coming here, when it will be coming here, and what it will retail for, because that new mascara that they've come out with, it was 21 euros, and I was like, that's not very much drugstore anymore, but oh well. I did manage to pick up some new Maybelline, but it's things I've talked about months ago when it was first launched, and I don't know when this is coming at all. But yeah, Maybelline is definitely on my radar as a brand to try some new things by, because they have been doing some nice things. Melt Cosmetics came out with the Petite Stack Ultra Pinks. All pink. This really much suits the brand. They've been sort of doing stacks in this like more like cardboard sort of packaging. It very much reminds me of those Kaja bento boxes, like the little shadows that you can like pop open. I had one of those. This looks pretty. I think this was their Valentine's Day release. Pink for Valentine's Day. What else is new? Melt does lovely eyeshadow though. Like they are one of my favorites as well. I haven't tried anything from them that they've done more recently, but that 12th hour stack, when I talked about that, like I put it on the wish list. Do you guys want to know what's on my wish list? Let me know, because I can definitely do a video on what's currently actively on my wish list. I haven't, like, save for the Maybelline stuff and like the Catrice and Essence stuff that I needed for videos, I really haven't bought a lot of makeup in the past couple of months. So because I had so many things that I still wanted to test out, so I wasn't really feeling like buying too many things. And yeah, the only reason why I picked up the Maybelline stuff as well is like, oh, but then I can like do a full face makeup look with like drugstore makeup or something like that. So again, I mainly bought it with the channel in mind and not just because I want it, but I always keep a list of things that I might want to pick up at some point. And there is definitely a melt stack on there. So let me know if you want to see that. This is a new makeup release from Natasha Denona. These are already making the rounds, and she's come out with quads. Now, from what I can tell, yeah, these are $48. So that's probably, these are probably going to retail for around the €50 mark here. For your information, the 15 pan palettes I have from Natasha Denona are, what, 60, 65? By now, they're probably like €75. But when Natasha Denona first started to do 15 pan eyeshadow palettes, it was like €55 or something like that. Maybe 59. I don't remember. But this is already pretty close to that, and it's only 4 shades. These do look pretty. There is one that looks a little bit more cool toned. That's also the one that seems to be pushed most, at least on the content I'm seeing. I've seen this being used on TikTok by Natasha Denona on a model, and it looks beautiful. I love Natasha Denona eyeshadow. We all know that. But when I look at these shades, I have these. These are already in existing palettes by the brand. So if you already own a couple of 15 pan eyeshadow palettes by Natasha Denona, this, like, it looks really pretty. This is very much my vibe, my aesthetic. I could pick these up in a heartbeat. But that quad with the cool tones, I have this. I don't need this particular quad to be able to create this look with products from the same brand. So I get why, because bigger eyeshadow palettes are not like selling as well, I feel. I do hope, now that bolder makeup is definitely sort of making a comeback, that like bigger eyeshadow palettes are also going to be more appreciated by like the masses and not just us beauty enthusiasts. But that's why these smaller things are being released, and I just feel that, like I said, you buy any other Natasha Denona palette, then these shades are going to be in there. I have an inkling that these pans may be a little bit bigger. At least that's what it looks like. And there's also like one of the shades seems to be a little bit more sparkly, so I definitely think there's a new formula in here. Pan size wise, I think this is more like Biba, like the bigger palettes that she used to do, rather than the smaller pans that you get in the 15 pans that she's doing currently. So I'm definitely feeling like she's fusing some of the things from those bigger palettes and now this. It's beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I'm very much tempted by this, but I know I don't need it. Kiko has come out with a new collection. This is the Hug Me collection. Yeah, Hug Couture, that's what it's called. It's got some highlighters in that look very much like those Rare Beauty highlighters that we've seen so many brands duping. It's beautiful. Again, very, very beautiful. Do I need any of this though? No, I really don't. There are some eyeshadow quads that look like Chanel quads for some reason. Like Chanel has had these like dome-shaped shadows in all of their quads for years. Reminds me of that. The highlighters remind me of Rare Beauty. Then I think there are like some like cream lip or cheek products. There's some lipsticks, lip glosses. Like it's a full rounded collection. There are some really gorgeous things in here. Do I need any of it? No. I've said this many times. I tend to stick to the things that Kiko does in their regular line rather than their limited edition stuff. Not because it's not good, but because it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to talk about things if you can no longer buy it 2 months down the line. You know what I mean? Morphe also has some new makeup out. I'm not sure what this is called. The Dazzling Metallics. This looks pretty. I'm especially drawn to that pinky quad in the middle of these pictures. That's just absolutely gorgeous looking. More like these rosy vibes. That's also what I want to select, I think, for March, for my Shop My Stash, to do some rosy things for spring. I think that will be pretty. Again, nothing here is truly going to be unique to my personal makeup collection, but it makes sense for the brand. It's very much on brand with what we're seeing currently from Morphe. Not the old Morphe, but the current Morphe, and I do like the look of that. There's a new brand in Sephora, Mary Phillips. She's a makeup artist that's been around for years. So I'm thinking that this is a brand that a lot of people are going to like. There are loads of different shades here for this foundation that's being launched, but I do believe it's quite expensive. Oh, it's for a foundation, $49. Yeah, that's pretty doable. Not something I can probably buy anytime soon. It takes a while for these newer brands to come to Sephora here in Europe. So, some new lip blusher this is called from YSL, the Beauty YSL Love Nude Lip Blusher. So it sounds like it's going to be this like blurry sort of matte, but make it lip balm kind of thing. Yeah. Sounds like it's going to be really pretty. Do I need this? No, all the shades look exactly the same, which is why I don't need them. We have a new palette from Adept. This is the Sapphire Celine. As you will see when I do post my declutters in March, because that's going to happen. March, I'm going to be posting all of the declutters that I filmed. I've decided to declutter all of my Adept palettes, not because I don't appreciate the brand or what they do. I think Adept does, like, there's a market for the things that Adept does. I have just found that I am not part of that market. I'm not part of their target group. I just find them a little bit expensive for what they are, what they offer. I feel I can find that with other indie brands that don't charge this much. Even though I love the color stories and I love some of the palettes, I mean, this looks absolutely gorgeous again. Like, I look at this and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. But I also know that if I were to have this in my makeup collection, I probably wouldn't reach for it a lot. And that's just why I know I can get rid of this. Dior has a new cushion as well. It doesn't say here that this, for instance, is only for Asia. So it seems to be like overall kind of launch. This looks really pretty with the little bow on the compact. It's very cutesy, but if you want a cushion foundation, I would go K-Beauty. I would check out YESSTYLE and not Dior. There's a new palette from Rude Cosmetics. Let me see. The Bohemian eyeshadow palette. It's part of their Roaring 20s line. And I didn't know that this was still a thing, because when I first checked out Rude Cosmetics a couple of years ago, they seemed to have this entire line of Roaring 20s inspired color stories. And I tried one of them and it was very reminiscent of like the bigger Huda Beauty palettes I found. It's because I have a couple of those as well. I decided to declutter my Rude Cosmetics palette. Also because the quality of it, like, these are cheap and cheerful. This is $20, so it's like 20 euros or something like that. So that's like, for the amount of shades you're getting, I mean, that's pretty affordable. But I felt like, again, at that price point, I have other things that I like as much or better than Rude Cosmetics, which is why I've never tried anything else by them. I was just a bit disappointed with them overall, but this color story does look really pretty. There's some nice cool tones in here, some rosy things. But like I said, this brand very much reminded me of like Huda Beauty dupes that I've tried as well. And this is giving Huda Beauty dupe as well. I kind of feel like that a bit. There's a new Dior collection with their eyeshadows. There's some blues here, some like nice neutrals, some pinky tones, and this like really fun sort of pastel, more vibrant color story. I have seen this being used on TikTok, and it very much is that standard Dior sort of palette thing that we're getting, where it's like this little bit of satin, but not quite. It looks absolutely beautiful. It really, really does. But I'm like, I don't need this in my life. Hourglass has a new liquid highlighter, the Unreal liquid highlighter. It comes in 5 shades, it seems. There is a really nice cool tone pink, but I'm not really in the market for a new liquid highlighter anytime soon. New concealer from MAC, the Studio Fix 36 Hour Smooth Angles Concealer. I like a bit of MAC. They do some nice concealers. I've tried some of their concealers in the past that I've really enjoyed. MAC is one of the brands that is on my like wish list. So I do want to try a couple of their complexion things. So this concealer could be in the cards for me a little bit later down the line, but not anytime soon just yet. Next up, we have this product from Say. This is the Super Suede Radiant Powder. And this... Oh, this is actually a bronzer. It's not just a powder. I thought, but it's a powder bronzer. The way it's written here, it's a bit unclear. Comes in 6 different shades, so that's good. But they look, the way they look to me in the pan, they look a little orange. So I'm not sure if I'm going to like it per se. I don't really like very orange tone bronzers. I know a lot of people say like a bronzer has to be warm toned because it's supposed to give you a sun-kissed look. I don't get a sun-kissed look, so I tend to reach for contours more so than I do bronzers, really. A new collection from Nomad Cosmetics setting sail, the Cruise collection, and it comes with 2 palettes, one with mattes, one with shimmers. It's very fun, bright, and colorful. There's also 2 highlighters, it seems. Yep. So yeah, this is really, really pretty. Oh, and the palettes are magnetic as well, it says here. So that's great. We all know I love me a bit of Nomad. I tried another one of their palettes in January, I think it was, the Christmas market one that they came out with around Christmas time. So, because I realized that I didn't really own that many, like, truly, like, Christmassy palettes when I did the video about that. So I was like, ooh, need to rectify that. So I tried that, and it really made me, like, put a couple of Nomad palettes on my wish list again. And I'm like, do I really need them? Because now I've decluttered my makeup collection. I'm like, I probably don't. So my wish list is in fluctuation. Like, it's sort of, like, never, like, set in stone. It's like, this is what I'm gonna buy. It's sort of, like, just a list of things I keep. And then I take things off again, and then maybe I end up buying something, and sometimes I buy something else before I buy the thing that's on my wish list. Like, it's the whole thing. So this is not going on the wish list because as much as I like these, because I do really like the look of them, I'm not in any need of like an old matte and an old shimmer palette with these kind of shades in. So it's just not really right for me. But if you never tried the brand, especially because these are magnetic, it gives you a lot of freedom to how you're going to use these. Do you like take some out and you're going to build your own palettes with them? It does give you a lot of options, and I can see that they do have a little well, so it's going to be very easy to take them in and out of the palette. So I definitely feel like that's sort of what they're trying to do here, to give you sort of like the creativity and the sort of autonomy to decide what you want to do with the palette. So you could rearrange these to make them, like, mix the mattes and the shimmers up, of course, if you have both of them. Yeah, I think it's clever. I like that they now do magnetic pans. That always makes it a little easier, like, if you were to just thinking, like, oh, I just want to use, like, keep these shades and stick it in a singles palette. You do have that option if there are certain things you don't like. Nars has some, like, new highlighters, I think. A stick, oh, and a blush. It's a light reflecting luminizing stick. So the sticks are the highlighters, but the other things are blushes, and they're glowy. And there seems to be like this purpley thing in there that makes me really, really excited for the way it looks in the pan. But then I look at the swatch and I'm like, that's not what I was expecting. Like, make that more pigmented, please. But these do look really pretty. Like, I like a glowy blush, and I'm glad that glowy blush is back, for sure, for sure, for sure. Do I need it from Nars? Probably not. Says here it's going to launch in April of 2026, so it's going to be a while until these come out. Stila has some new makeup out as well, and Stila is one of those brands where it's like, they are so nostalgic for me, because Stila really reminds me of like what beauty was like when I first started like doing beauty blogs and stuff and started reading them. Like, everybody was loving the convertible colors. Everybody was loving those like liquid eyeshadows that they had. I had a couple of those as well. What they're releasing though, I'm like, yeah, it's again a couple of the convertible colors, it seems. There also seems to be like some lip products, some like multi-chrome eyeliners. It's beautiful. It looks absolutely stunning. Do I need it? Absolutely not. Now this, I'm excited for, because we all know I love a cool tone eyeshadow palette. So when you're coming out with a palette that's called Silver and Cold, you know I'm gonna like it. So this is by Deveroon Cosmetics. This is all I have. It's only just been announced. Like, this is what I mean. Like, this was like only announced like 2 days ago. So like probably for me like Thursday evening. I'm like, oh. But yeah, this looks gorgeous. It seems to be like cooler tealy greens with like some purpley neutrals and some grays. And I'm like, this could be nice. And you know what it could be nice with? The Mineralia palette that I loved by them. That was my favorite palette from 2025. And I'm thinking that this could be another favorite. So this is something I'm super excited for. So yeah, if I'm ever offered this in PR, then like by MONOLITH, because they did send me some things in PR. But maybe if they don't send me this is definitely one that's going to go onto the wish list that I would like to buy myself. Makeup Revolution has like a completely new like launch as well. I saw Marley Wijn, who's another Dutch creator here who does videos in English, talk about this line, but I didn't really see any of the products on Instagram yet. But this is just the bronzer selection, but there's loads more. I know that. When it comes to Makeup Revolution, like as much as they are affordable and super accessible for loads of people, I have just never really been a huge fan of Makeup Revolution long term. So I've bought products, used them, but they never end up being my favorites, which is why after so many years of trying them and me continuously decluttering the products that I have by them, it just means that I'm not hugely interested in whenever they do post anything new. It's just one of those brands where I'm like, yes, I've tried things. Have they ever really been something I've loved? Hardly. So that's why I'm like, this is probably not something that I would like to test out. Maybe if I'm in the UK and I can see the products in real life and give them a swatch, see if the formulas are any different from what I remember them being, that I might pick up a thing or two from this completely new line that they're doing. But it's not really on the priority list for me, you could say. RMS Beauty has 4 new eyeshadow quads as well. Let's see, these are $49, so similar price point to the Natasha Denona. But these seem to be all shimmer. They're all shimmer. Do I have swatches? I do have swatches here. There's Wild Velvet, Midnight Bloom, Celestial Dream, and Rebel Glow. They look pretty, but none of these color stories speak to me the way the Natasha Denona ones do. It comes with a brush. Yeah, it's just, RMS Beauty is another one of those brands where I'm like, I want to love them more than I do. They have a couple of really solid products. I love the Living Luminizer. Mine expired, so I had to declutter it. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. I really do think that this is a beautiful product from them. I don't think they had too many eyeshadows yet. They had the strobe lights, like the little liquid eyeshadow that came in like a little pink tube. That was beautiful quality. It was really stunning. But it's good to see them do like these little mini palettes. But like I said, none of these color stories really stand out to me. Rare Beauty, the Neutral Eye Collection. Rare Beauty has an eyeshadow palette, people. They did some in the past. They discontinued those. And now they've sort of like rebranded it. I don't think... It's just one color story. That's all we're getting. It's not like different color stories. It comes with a liquid eyeliner and a mascara in brown, both of them. Yeah, again, love this for Rare Beauty. I'm very excited that they have an eyeshadow palette, but I don't want to buy it as a set because I don't need the liquid liner or the mascara. What does this retail for? Oh, I think you can't actually buy them separately. It's just 3 new launches in one go. So the eyeshadow palette is $30. The mascara is $24 and the liquid eyeliner is $22. So that's okay. That's pretty reasonable. But then I look at the swatches of this and I'm like, it's suffering from what I feel a lot of Rare Beauty products are suffering from, and that's that they're really warm toned. There is a taupe in here, a matte taupe, but you're not getting a single cool tone shimmer. And everything else is warm. So, just so you know. And from how cool toned they made this look, this one taupey shade. It's more like rosy, like it goes with the other shades a little too well for me to think that's going to be an actual cool tone. It's one of those cool tones that's going to look cool toned on people with a warm skin tone, but if you have a cool undertone yourself, this is probably going to be super warm and it's going to look peach on you. I'm warning you in advance. A new eyeshadow palette from Victoria Beckham. I did find the teaser post for this initially, but I never found the actual product, so I had to like dig into their account to see what it was. And this is the eye wardrobe in Orchid. I think this looks really pretty. I haven't tried any of the reformulated, rebranded eyeshadows from Victoria Beckham, but I do have one from the older formulas that I really, really enjoyed. But these are pricey, so I'm not entirely sure. What I do like about this new style is that you can actually buy different inserts for the compacts, and they are removable, so that's nice, and they do now come as individual pans. The older style I have, it's just one pan pressed together, so if you travel with them and it cracks, you're toast. So I'm glad that they've done these eyeshadow palettes to now have individual pans, but the setup is still the same, where you get one larger, lighter color, and then two mattes and like another shimmer or a deeper shade. But now they're like separated. So I think that's a little bit better. But yeah, I remember the one that I bought was really, really expensive. So don't need this anytime soon. So here we have the Old Soul eyeshadow palette from Glam and Chanel. This was already sent to me in PR by MONOLITH, so you know I'm going to be testing this out for you. But because I'm still sitting on a couple of palettes that came to me later that I was supposed to get them in December, and then they didn't send, it wasn't sent out until January. So I only got those in, so I still need to test out those things. So this is not going to be tested out until April, possibly May at the earliest. So it's coming, but it's gonna come a little bit later. It's got some really beautiful shimmers in. There is a really strong orangey bronze tone that I'm not a huge fan of, but I do really think it rounds out the palette really well, and it does look really stunning. So that one very warm tone shimmer I can overlook. It's probably not going to be my favorite shade in the palette at all, but there is a lot of things in here that is really pretty. It's a good neutral palette, but a little bit more interesting than just plain neutrals. There seems to be some good cool tones in here. It's a nice mix, I feel, of warmer and cooler tones, and I was really stoked to see that they were going to send me this when they sent me the email. So yeah, this is something that I'm very much looking forward to trying. So this post is the thing I was actually looking for, because I already saw a creator on TikTok using these products, but I hadn't been pushed this launch from Chanel at all. I had to actively start looking for it. And it's their denim makeup collection. So what this is, it's an eyeshadow palette that has some blues in, a icy blue sort of highlighter, and then a blue toned lip balm. It looks really, really pretty, really stunning. But from what I could see how the creator used these products, I don't think I'm going to like these. I do have things already that can probably create this look for me. So this is nothing new to me, to my personal makeup collection, but I do really like the look of this. Chanel is very much on point. But here again, Dior also had a blue eyeshadow palette that they're launching for spring. And then Chanel is doing blues for spring as well. What's going on there? These baby blue things are really pretty, but I think I'm just going to stick with my Cheery Up Dreamcatcher palette if I want to go for this denim-y kind of look, because I think that's going to have some beautiful shades in that's going to allow me to recreate the look that you could do with these products for sure. Then this is the new Odin's Eye collab with Heather Austin. So I think it's a singles palette. Yes, it's the Spring Butterfly single eyeshadow collection. So this is actually, it's dropping on March 1st. So that is today. So if you were looking for this, it's dropping today. It's very Heather, I feel. It definitely goes with her and her aesthetic. It's got some beautiful shades in. I've personally not tried any of the singles from Odin's Eye. So if you were interested in that, then maybe you could check that out. I do like the look of this a lot, but again, not something I necessarily need myself. Not sure if this is a new brand or just a new product from a brand I haven't really heard much about, but this is by Elixir Beauty, and this is the Skin Shake By Face Serum Skin Tint. And it's got quite a good shade range, I feel. I don't really know much about this brand. Again, this seems to be launching in the US mainly. I'm not sure whether this is going to come to any Sephora's near me anytime soon. But yeah, a skin tint, is that really where the makeup trends are going? I'm not entirely sure how successful this is going to be. What I can buy is things from Sephora in the UK because they ship to Europe. And they now have Half Magic. How exciting is that? Because Half Magic, I think they're also on Space NK. I think they are on there as well. But yeah, Half Magic being a little bit easier to get, that's such a good thing. I am traveling to London in the May break, and if this is going to be in store at all, then I hope to be able to do some swatches, because Half Magic is one of those brands that I would like to still try. I have no clue where to start with them though. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions on what I should try from Half Magic, I would love to know. But this is a brand that's been really difficult to find over here. Hung Van Gogh has a new lip product out. This is the Glossy Hue Hydrating Lip Shine. Pretty, very glossy. And I really feel that this is a makeup artist who's doing makeup that a lot of people seem to like. Again, not something I can really get my hands on just yet. This looks beautiful, but with the products that I've seen this brand create so far, I'm like, is that really what I want? And I'm not convinced yet, but it does look pretty. It's like a solid makeup line, but it does have a lot of the same things that other brands are doing. So how unique is it really? It seems to me that a lot of people are just excited for this brand because he's a celebrity makeup artist. I think he's doing Selena Gomez's makeup as well, and some other like famous people. I think the excitement is more from that than like what the products actually do. Even though the products that I've seen people talking about seem to be very successful, I do have to say that, but not something that I feel like strongly about that much. Pat McGrath has a new product out. The brand has been saved. That's what's been on the news, so they can continue with the brand. And this is the Lip Sculpt and Shade Contour Duo. So it's like a lip liner with a lipstick in one like little thing. Yeah, that's fine, but I would pair a lip liner, like that's what I'm wearing today. Actually, I've paired one of my Lisa Eldridge lip liners in Jazz with Velvet Ribbon. I'd rather just buy those as separates. I would not be inclined to always use the lip liner with the lipstick. So for me, this format doesn't make a lot of sense. It's $32. It does come in a couple of really classic Pat McGrath shades. I think there's a market for this. I think if you want to have something in your makeup bag, like if you're someone who goes to the gym before you go to work and then you want to put on something really quickly and you don't want to have your makeup bag overflowing, then this is the kind of product I can see people use for those kind of situations. Or if you want to do like a touch up after work because you're going out for dinner and you want to like do a bolder lip look than what you were wearing at work, then I think something like this can live in a makeup bag somewhere. It's just not how I live my life. This is by Electrum Cosmetics. This is the Poisoned Love collection. Don't know how you would get your hands onto this brand. Not entirely sure, but they seem to be like a smaller indie brand. This does look really pretty. It's very shimmer heavy though. You're essentially just getting 9 multi-chrome eyeshadows, and then there's also this thing in a pot which seems to be like a cream or something like that. So yeah, this looks beautiful. Like, let me say that. It's absolutely gorgeous looking. Do I need it in my life? No. I really feel that indie brands need to start thinking about what the newest innovation is going to be for them, because just doing multi-chromes is no longer like a selling point for me because I already have so many different things, you know? So I'm not entirely sure whether I need this per se. Ilia has a new concealer out, the Skin Blur Serum Concealer. See, Ilia is one of those brands like RMS where I'm just like, I would like to try some more by them. They're clean beauty, So it does, like, I find it a little risky with clean beauty if there aren't a lot of preservatives, because I do have a larger makeup collection. So with clean beauty, you really need to be like solid and you want to use it up. And I've just found Ilia a little bit too expensive to invest in that sort of kind of thing. These are $32, so that's pricey for a concealer. And if you don't use this up within a year, you can probably throw it away. So that is definitely something that in recent years, having tried some clean beauty and knowing how quickly it can expire, it kind of makes me steer away from these clean beauty brands just a touch. But this does look interesting. The shades look really good, especially these lighter things. Like, I think there may be a shade here for me is what I'm trying to say. And then here's the final thing I need to chat about with you guys, and that is that the lipstick lesbians are coming out with a brand. And I've watched a video on TikTok actually today before I sat down to film this video. It's called Leaked Labs, because in this like little mini documentary that they did, they explained like how they were like when they became a little bit more popular, they got access to all these things. And one of them was a beauty curator before, like she was like doing like product development. And then the other person wasn't. And she was like surprised at how many things actually don't even make it onto the consumer market because brands are not willing to take a risk. And that's sort of the premise of this brand. So I'm very curious to see what they're actually going to be coming out with. This is very hot off the press because this Instagram post was posted 18 hours ago. So this news is less than 24 hours old as I'm filming this video. So by the time you're watching this, it's like less than 48 hours. So yeah, I'm excited for this. But I'm not entirely sure whether I would like necessarily be super interested in it. It's really going to depend on what the products are going to be like, what color ranges we're getting. I'm not someone who's a huge like snob about formulas. I just want formulas that work for me. But I don't necessarily want what's the innovation? What innovations are we talking about here? That's the thing I'm not really sort of getting a good sense of yet. I really hope, fingers crossed, let's put it that way, let's think positive thoughts, that they are going to do these like more unique things. But essentially in the video, like the clips that they laid over the things they were talking about, it was just multi-chrome eyeshadow. And I was like, it's not that new, you know? So yeah, we've had multi-chrome eyeshadows by loads of different brands for such a long time, and I'm like, if I just buy like a Cheeria palette or like another C beauty brand, am I going to get what you're going to give us? But you're probably going to mark it up because you're going to want to sell it at Sephora. Is that going to be the thing? Like, I'm very curious to see what this thing is going to be. So that news of the lipstick lesbians is the final thing I want to chat to you guys about. I really hope for them that it's going to be a successful thing and that they like deliver on their marketing pitch. I really, really hope they do. But yeah, for now, this was the end of the video because that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. Please thumbs up this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more by me. I post 4 times a week on this channel. I will be doing my decluttering series in March, so I hope you're looking forward to that. I definitely had fun filming those videos again for you guys. So yeah, check back for more in a new video, and then I hope to see you there. Take care for now. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.